he answered. "I have faith in you." And I wanted to deck him, but he stopped me. Today's NDE is by Stella. I was crossing the street and lost my sandal. I turned back to fetch it without thinking and was hit head-on by a car. It was the most memorable blow of my life, and that was nothing compared to what was coming. I saw myself rolling into a small ditch at the side of the street and knew that I was very badly injured. Maybe I was dying. As soon as I asked that, I was catapulted into the inside of an ambulance that was supposed to save me. I saw the nurse lose her ring. The ring belonged to her mother, and I saw where the ring fell. Then the driver lost his way. At that point, I figured that I would never get to the hospital, but I was overjoyed. I thought, but is it already over? How lucky, wow! And I entered the tunnel, which I strangely seemed to know well, and went forward at a vertiginous speed toward home, without any intention of stopping to observe everything in the tunnel. I just wanted to go home. The tunnel was semi-transparent, and I saw points of light like distant stars becoming rays of irregular lights, like the headlights on a car that is speeding down a curved road. My speed kept growing until the light could no longer reach me, and I saw that the tunnel was one giant curve, but a curve that was barely discernible, yet I could still feel it. Then I was home. The light surrounded me, and I was in eternity. Every question I had asked had an instant, clear response, even if I didn't understand every answer. The gentle song of many voices surrounded me, but I couldn't understand the song. I walked barefoot in an undulating field on soft grass, and not far away an oak tree stood out. It was more imposing than anything I'd ever seen. A brilliant green like life. I could write a whole book about that tree alone, but I will stop here. Beneath the tree, a young boy was waiting for me. He was beautiful and dignified. He invited me to take a rest, having me take a seat on a wooden bench at a table on top of which were bread and red wine. My father had made red wine on earth, so I know it well, and I love the red wine. After I had eaten, he said, "Everything you see is like looking at clouds. You see a little dog, but you know it's a cloud. Now you see yourself at home, but know that you are almost at home. You must return." I answered with a dry and distinct no. I didn't understand why I had to leave when it felt so good here. He objected. "Don't you miss your mother and father?" I said, "No. Soon they'll be here and I will see them again. Time meant nothing. It does not exist." With extreme love and patience, he showed me that I still have so much to learn, and he showed me my life as though it were a journey. I could choose various paths, but I had to get from A to B. The important events, my goals, were symbolized by marble statues, while others were made from fresh clay and still malleable. Still time to make them into something else. I understood that the point is not when, since time does not exist, but that all conditions must be satisfied, and the most seminal of these is free will. A series of free will choices and reactions to events determines the conditions to find the destination or to miss it. It is so free that one can always try again and try again. It doesn't matter how long it takes or where it happens. Time and space do not exist. The only important thing is to meet the conditions to arrive at the proper destination. I hadn't reached any such place yet. Notwithstanding all this explanation, I still refused to go back. So he took me in his arms and showed me the river from which there would be no return, and all the cities that existed beyond the river. He told me I could wait in eternity and that I shouldn't be afraid because he had fulfilled all the promises. He told me many things, but I was determined to remain cuddled in his arms and lulled by his voice, and I didn't listen. I looked with childish curiosity at his ring. It was bas-relief with 3 curved lines that intersected and formed a triangle. There was a unique signing with a pen that could write until infinity. I heard, "Now you can return in peace." I refused with all the stubbornness that a child is capable of. "So, you'll have to speak to my father," he said. I wasn't at all afraid and very determined. I accepted. He showed me the road. I would have to go through a labyrinth of hedges, but I was too desperate, and I did everything not to go. Whereupon I traversed the hedge in a direct line, cutting and scratching myself with a lot of pain, knowing full well that this hedge was the only thing there that could seriously hurt me. Then I was picked up by the loving arms of the Father. He called me by my real name, which means little monkey full of curiosity and rebellion, and I recognized him as my God, with whom I had played so much. What happened next is so personal that I will only refer to the ending, needing to say up front that when I lied, I knew that he knew, but I tried anyway. So let's see. Are you ready? Do you love mankind? Me. Yes. Him. More than yourself? Me. Probably, yes. In theory, yes. Him. So much that you would give up your own life? Me. Yes, unconditionally. Him. We haven't understood one another. Do you love me? Me. So much that I would stay for eternity. Him. So, if you love me and you love mankind as much as you love me, go back and my will be done for their good. There, he tricked me for the good of all. The problem with arguing with him is that he's always right, I thought. But he heard my thought and together we laughed our heads off. I don't know how else to describe it. I hadn't chosen. I could go back to Earth or away from there. I was desperately crying and turned toward the youth who asked me not to remember because the homesickness could have done me harm, and that I would remember my experience as necessarily. But I rarely take advice or obey, and therefore I suffer to this day. It seemed that I wouldn't be able to fulfill my destiny in life, and that I was filled with terror. I begged the youth, "Please, I beseech you. I know I won't find my way. I beg you. I don't want to disappoint him. I beg you that when I fail, that you grab me by the hair and bring me back here. I will formally renounce all freedom in that moment. Take me even if I say no." He answered, "I have faith in you." And I wanted to deck him, but he stopped me. Then he smiled and promised, "Yes, I will intervene, but I will be with you every day until the end." In truth, the only part of that promise that mattered to me was the first part. The journey back was very painful in every sense, and I don't want to relive it now. I can say that I re-entered my body as though I was putting on a glove. First the fingers, then finally the rest of the hand. Then came the intense pain of the body, and I awoke on my own from the coma, as the brain monitor showed. My brain was practically hanging out of my skull, and I still have such a scar that they want to hospitalize me when they take x-rays. Yet I'm okay, and according to the doctors, I came out of it due to the extraordinary capacity and reactions of children. When I came out of my coma, I was yelling at all the doctors, "Assassins! You don't understand. I can die here. Make me go back. Damn you all, help me die." I only became calm when I saw that first nurse who had lost her ring, and I told her where to find it. And so with an enormous effort, I began to remember everything, and I mean everything. Even the stuff I shouldn't have. The doctors were very worried about me and my state of mind, and ordered psychological support, and they also sent me to a group that investigates NDEs. Today, at 40 years of age, I can say that I had absolutely no understanding of how right he was. Thank you, Father, whatever your name is. I can't manage to say it. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. And if you have an NDE that you'd like to share, you can email us at travelsinthespirit@gmail.com. God bless.